Hey, Facebook, are you out there? Oh, we've come a long way, Facebook. And I guess now we're ready to go live. As you probably figured out by now, this is my first Facebook Live, so I'm very excited to be with everybody. I think it's working. We'll have to see. So, my name is Trine Weiss-Mikkelsen, and I'm a yoga therapist and a teacher here, yoga teacher here in Montreal. And I specialize in menstrual health and fertility because that's my background. I've been teaching Hatha yoga, Kundalini yoga, dream yoga, all kinds of yoga for the last 17 years. And due to my own experience with endometriosis and really wanting to go deeper with my own healing and with the healing of so many women who struggles with menstrual imbalances and fertility due to those imbalances, and how it really affects our lives. We what does it say here? We are still spreading the word. Okay, I guess this is Facebook way. I'm trying to make some advertising here. Yeah, it really became such a big part of my life that I wanted it to be part of what I offered too, and focusing in and offering that everything that I learned to my fellow women around the world. Now I teach here in Montreal, and so not everyone is able to come to class and to be part of that real community that's created in class. So for that reason, I thought, well, why don't I give a little snippet on Facebook and on my blog every Thursday, and that way, whoever's at home and who are not able to come or who don't live where I live, can still start, your healing journey. I think really nothing should stop us. It's such an awesome way of not just getting healthy, because I really feel that our menstrual health reflects our health in general. So it's an amazing way to get healthy and to find balance in our lives in general, because the two of them are so connected. Now, when we do yoga, at least in the background that I'm from, it's called Hatha yoga. And Hatha is often described as the Ha and the Ta. The Ha being the sun energy, the outward going energy, the active energy, the masculine energy. And the Ta being the moon, the inward energy, that coming inward, that being introspective and being quiet, listening inward, the cooling, whereas the Ha is the warm. This is the... So in that name of the Hatha, we have the balance. And this is the balance that everything follows, life, birth and death. Right now it's winter is coming, and then summer. And it's in our breath too. It's the breathing in and the breathing out. And we'll be working with that in a little while. And I want to share with you how you can bring that kind of balance to your body. And it's the balance that our menstrual cycle follow, We move up towards ovulation, and we are outgoing, and we are ready to, create, and whether it's creating babies or our lives, like we're very outward going in that middle part of our cycle. And then as we move through that period, we start going more inward, right to the moment that we're ready to have our period, and we're shedding everything. And today I'm on that day. It's like right the day before I'm getting my period, and I'm feeling that energy of the downward energy, and I really cherish it now. I used to fear it. Like this day of the month, I used to be on my knees, sometimes literally on my knees, puking because of so much pain, and I would feel so much sadness and devastation and hopelessness. And now, 7-8 years later, it's a very different energy. I really welcome this time of the month where I start feeling that heaviness that comes in, and there's like a real heaviness in, our uterus at this point is twice the size. It's filled with blood, and it goes into our legs, and our brains get a little foggy. And so if I'm saying something here that makes no sense, that's please write any questions or comments below. And hi everybody. Yeah, please, because I'm doing this first Facebook Live going outward at a time of my cycle where I'm much more inward. So we'll see how this goes. It'll probably just calm me down. I'm usually a bit of a fire person, so this works out. So when it comes to our nervous system, it's pretty much the same thing. Like we have two parts of our nervous system that's pretty much working the same way as what I just described with hatha. So we have a sympathetic nervous system, which is the doer, the active, the going out. And we need that. It's what keeps us going. It's what, keeps us safe. But if there's too much of that, if we're too much if that part of the nervous system is too active, what happens that it starts creating stress and anxiety. So it's too fired up. We're too fired up. Now, if we're in the other side, the parasympathetic nervous system, so that's when we feel relaxed, when we are calm, when we can go inward. And if we have too much of that, if that comes out of balance, what happens is depression, and we have sort of, it's really hard for us to make choices and to move forward, and that doesn't work either. So really the two of them, ideally, it's a perfect cycle that they're equally balanced. It's a little bit like the yin and yang symbol. I like that very much. Like the idea that, we're in the active energy, we're in the ongoing, we're moving forward, and we're doing that right until the moment that we feel that need to relax, and then we stop. And then we start going inward, and we relax, and we take care of ourselves. And we keep doing that until we start feeling that we need to now move. And, it would be great if they're like 50-50. Often, though, it's like 30-70 if we're really lucky and honest with ourselves. We live in a culture where slowing down and going inward and being in that feminine energy, it's not valued much, and we don't really feel, especially as women, we don't feel that we are allowed to take care of ourselves. It's usually right at the bottom of our to-do list. So when we get our periods and we're naturally drawn into that heavy energy, it can get complicated, and we can feel that it's not something that we're allowed to do, and we keep moving forward. We might take an Advil, and we keep running, and we get upset and irritated and sad because we're not really listening, and we're not taking good care of ourselves, and we're going against the grain. Now, when we allow ourselves to follow that natural rhythm, put it in your calendar, know when you're getting your period, know when you're ovulating, do those times of the month, get to that job interview, or do your Facebook Live, or having those parts of your to-do lists happening around that part of the month where you're naturally out. And then this time of the month, right before you're getting your period and through those first days, allow yourself to have those down days and be introspective. Like, go over what worked this month, what didn't work, and it's really a cleaning out, physically, mentally, emotionally. When you do that, you'll find that you're preparing yourself for the next month in a whole new way. So with that being said, that sense of breathing in and breathing out that creates that natural flow, it's really a perfect way to send a message to our system, to our nervous system, to say, in short, it's sending a signal that everything is okay. Because when we are anxious, we tend to breathe in a lot but not out. When we are depressed, we breathe out a lot, but we don't even have the energy to breathe in. And our bodies are listening to our breath. So when we have an even deep in-breath and out-breath, you're sending that perfect signal going, everything is fine, and you start feeling it. So I want us to do it. So come to sitting on the floor. If you're watching this video and it's not live, press pause and go get yourself a blanket, a pillow, come to sitting and close your eyes and just connect to your breath for a moment. Don't try and alternate it or move it. Just let that sense of connecting to your breath help you connect to yourself and to your body. lengthening up through the top of your head, creating space in your body. But at the same time, relax your shoulders, relax your face, sink in to your foundation, to your pillow, to your blanket. And then start counting to 4. We'll just do this for a little bit in order to create that even in-breath and out-breath. You're going to breathe in, counting to 4 quietly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at that in-breath, that natural pause before you tip over and you come into the out-breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, pausing just long enough to feel that natural urge to breathe in. Breathing in to 4. And out. And just stop counting and just start breathing naturally like that. Breathing in all the way into your belly, up to your collarbones. Use that space that you have in your body to breathe in. Pause and just allow yourself to flow into that out breath. All the way out, out, out. Keep doing this a few times more. I'm going to stop talking so you're not listening to my voice, but you start listening just to the natural rhythm of your breath. Keeping your focus on your breath. Be aware of what's happening. How does it feel to breathe like this? How does your body respond? And then take a moment to ask yourself, what needs balance in my life? What needs balance in my life? How can I bring in balance? And what would balance feel like? If I allow myself this kind of balance, what would my life look like? And again, if you're watching this and it's not live, pause and take a moment to write down what came up. And keep a journal like this. So every time when you check in, you get a moment to write down and see where you're at. And keep that connection going with yourself, that connection to your breath. I'm just going to give you a few moments if you're with me here live to just write down a few keywords to hold on to. And then I'm going to move on and I'm going to show you a little sequence, a little mini sequence that helps with that natural downward energy that's happening right now in my body, and you can use it next time you're at that time of your month. So again, if you're not watching this live, pause the video, go get a blanket or a mat, something soft you can lie on. You might have a carpet in your house and that's perfect. And another blanket. And it can be just a regular blanket from your couch, or you can bring probably about 2 or 3 thick towels. That will work too. And you want to place this crossways on your mat. I hope you can still hear me as I'm moving a little bit more away from the phone. So placing it sort of midway on your mat or your blanket. And it's sort of this kind of thickness. You're going to have it right in front of you. And then you're going to come up to all four, having yourself right over the blanket. So coming onto all four, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And just start by bringing some circulation, some blood flow, some energy into our core here, into our abdomens. And releasing all the tension that often happens all around the back and the front. It's like there's a little bit of a tire right around our central parts that can get dense and tense during our periods and those days right before. And also our hearts get a little heavy. So opening our hearts. So we're going to do the cat and cow, which are great for both of those. Adding a lot of circulation, releasing tension in our abdomen and our low back, and it opens our hearts. We're going to bring in that breath. It's going to be an even breath. So you're going to breathe in and you're going to stick your tailbone up in the sky, and you're going to bring your chin up, your heart, bringing your heart forward, breathing in, letting your belly drop, and then as you breathe out, you curl around, you lift up, bringing your tailbone right under, letting your head hang, breathing in, just allow yourself to follow the length of your own breath. So you're making a little dance between your body and your breath. Have fun with it. You might want to move in all kinds of directions. Move in what feels good. Listen to that back, your core. What does it need to do? Then you're going to come back to center. You're going to curl your feet under. You're going to come up. And for this can be hard for some people. Some of us have very, very tight feet. So you want to just come back as far as feels comfortable. So you can keep some of the weight on your hands if it's too much. If you aren't able to come all the way up, you come up sitting, and if you have little toes that wants to hide underneath, bring them out. And then come to sitting on your feet. This is called fire feet. And it basically, in our feet, we hold a lot of that irritability and anger, and it all sort of goes all the way down and it tightens up those feet. So this is a way to release that fire. And for some people, they get really irritated, even just sitting like this. So it's that release of that build-up, that build-up of stress. So releasing that stress, allowing that to sink all the way down, follow that natural flow of energy going down through your legs, all the way out through your feet. Just release it, stretch it out, let it come out of your feet. And then come back up and just shake your feet out a little bit. Well, that was exciting for Freddie. And then you're going to start lowering yourself down onto this blanket. And you want to lower yourself down so that the edge, the bottom edge of the blanket, fits right at the bottom part of your pubic bone. And then it just goes up as far as feels comfortable. So you're going to lower yourself down right on that spot at the bottom of your pubic bone. And you're going to place your hands on the mat, a little bit what's called a sphinx. So already you're starting to feel that that blanket is pressuring up against your belly, that lower part of your belly where you feel the cramps. So just allow the blanket to create a little bit of release of that tension. And at the same time, we hold a lot of tension right here in the back, in our bums and our booties. So you want to release that tension. Again, as the blanket is pushing up from underneath, your low back has a chance to release. So you want to release your buttocks, your legs, and just sink into that blanket. Now the next part is you're going to curl your toes under, and you're going to sort of push yourself forward, just very gently with your toes, with your fingers. So you're creating a nice opening, a release in your abdomen. Breathe in. And then release your toes. Soften, enjoy that opening. And then come all the way down. Rest your head on your fingers, palms facing down, and release. Relax your shoulders, relax your abdomen, your low back. Keep breathing that even breath. And feeling that tension in your abdomen, in your low back that happens right before periods. Feel it just melt, melt, melt. And you can lie here as long as you like. But since we're creating a video here, I'm going to very gently move on. So as you're ready to move on, coming back into action from relaxing, you're going to come around, place your hands, curl your toes under, and then coming all the way up onto all fours again. Bring your knees out so they're parallel to the mat. Bring your toes together. And then coming all the way down into the child's pose. And I want you to rest your forehead on the mat, on the blanket. Coming all the way down. And stay down there as I come up so that you can hear me. So resting your forehead on that blanket. And allow that irritability, the sadness that comes with those days right before your period, allow that just to sink in and be supported. Allow yourself to feel that blanket rise up and support you. Hey Amanda, thank you for being here. And at the same time, breathe into your abdomen, breathe into that low back. Release, follow that natural energy that's downward moving. Allow the emotions to come down and out. You're bleeding. You're in the child's pose, you're in the womb, you're coming back inward. And again, hold this pose as long as it feels comfortable. And then you're very gently going to move out of the pose. Slowly coming up. Just allowing that transition to be slow. Coming all the way up. Coming to a comfortable sitting position, whatever that is for you. Coming back into that even breath that we talked about earlier. Closing your eyes. And do a little check-in. How are you feeling now compared to when we started? Is there a difference? Where is that difference? How does your body respond to the breath? The even breath, and to that gentle movement, following that natural energy, releasing that tension front and back, right at our core that starts happening, you know, as everything sort of gets ready. Like I was saying, our uterus is twice the size those few days before our period. So of course there's a sense of space that needs to be created. So allow yourself to create that space with these few movements in your body, and allow yourself to create that space in your life those few days before your period and those first few days during your period. Put it into your calendar. Use that energy, that natural inward energy, to take stock of the month. What worked, what didn't work. To allow yourself to cleanse emotionally, physically, so that once you start that next month, you're starting in a whole new cycle. You know, things had been shedded, things died, and now you can be born again. Every single month we get a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. That's pretty awesome, right? So I want you to start following that and see what happens. And please let me know what your experience was like. Thank you so much, Facebook, and everyone out there. Hi, Mette. It's so nice to see you. Du er rigtig dejlig også. Vi må have kaffe næste gang jeg kommer til Danmark. So, namaste everybody. From my uterus to yours. Have a great day, and I'll see you next Thursday. I'm going to do this every Thursday. So hang in there and take care. Bye.